Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Memecoins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss yesterday's crash and this morning's rebound. We're going to talk about the upcoming Polymarket token, how rich Kix is now, and we're going to talk about how we are navigating this choppy market, some plays that Kix made yesterday, some plays that we are potentially looking at today. GM, it is Friday. We made it through the week in one piece so far. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening over on X, on Twitter, give us a comment. Let us know what you're trading today, how you made out yesterday. Give us a bookmark. Give us a like. Push us out there in the algorithm. If you're listening over on YouTube, drop a comment. Let us know what you guys think, how you're feeling. Where's the bottom? How long will this bear market last? And if you're listening over on Zora, where we stream each and every day, drop a comment. Let us know you're there with us today. We'll be looking at some Zora comments as well. GM, Kix, back in the studio with us today on Friday, 3 days in a row. Love to have a little Kix action. How you feeling today? How'd you navigate yesterday? What's your mindset going into the weekend?
Feeling good. Slightly bummed. I missed my stink bid on Bitcoin overnight for a swing trade by like $300. I had some family stuff going on, so I couldn't sit and watch the charts. So, but that's fine. That's the game. Sometimes you miss. I was at my stink bid was at 59,753, and I think we bottomed at 6 on at least on Hyperliquid. We bottomed at literally 60,000. So I missed it by like $250. But what's really interesting is, for me, what I appreciate is that I have a pretty diverse friend group. And I know people that are, successful people that have money to invest in completely different sectors, right? And I have a buddy who's in commercial insurance, and I have a buddy who's a dentist. 2 days ago, my dentist friend is like, do I need to take out a second mortgage on my house in full port Bitcoin, right? And then last night, my commercial real estate friend is like, seriously, Nick, is now the right time to buy Bitcoin, right? And it's just funny. Just another anecdote. My brother a week ago said, look, Bitcoin's looking pretty juicy to make some buys. So it's funny just to hear how just normal people out in the world think, right? They see the pullback and they're like, wow, okay, like this is my chance maybe to get some more Bitcoin cheap. Then you go on the crypto Twitter timeline, right? And it's just crash out galore. People like why do we vote for Trump? He's losing everything. And it's just hysterics, right? And it's just wild just to see the absolute difference, right? We're just like normal people out in the world are like, wow, Bitcoin's 50% off. Like I should probably buy some of this. And then you have other people on the timeline thinking it's the end of the world. So anyways, the moral of that story is that if you want to be a good trader, you need sources of info all around the spectrum, not just crypto Twitter, because crypto Twitter can easily get you to freak out and think that like it's going to 45K tomorrow.
You see this one yet? Speaking of like TradFi and like people freaking out, have you heard of Meet Kevin? Apparently he's pretty big in the TradFi.
Yeah, I heard of him. He got big into stocks and stuff.
Yeah, let's look at the
definitely. I think a new world order. I think the president has sought to.
Let's go, dude. I saw that.
You promised us you made crypto great again. You promised us we'd be rich.
What's going on with Bitcoin is liquidity is really tight.
The only people that are rich is you and your family, you absolute slime ball.
And then corresponding with that, you'll have a collapse in prices.
You launched the meme coin. You launched a vaporware crypto that no one wants. You get bribed by all the crypto officials. You pardon criminals to destroy the market.
Our economy is transitioning into a.
So that's this is hilarious. That's big. That's big for Clemente. But I mean, that's the best summary of like what you were reading on the timeline. Is people just absolutely freaking out. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that you can at least respect about people like me. Okay, I'm not a Republican in a traditional sense, but I like Trump. Okay, I've voted for Trump multiple times. In 2020, voted for Trump and fucking lost. And guess what? In 2022, I was not on the timeline screaming, Biden destroyed crypto. Biden ruined crypto as it went from 70 to 17K. No, you know what I did was like, hey, here's a good opportunity to buy some crypto. at the fucking bottom. And that's what I did. Biden didn't suck because 22 crashed. Biden sucks because of all of the things that he did. That's the difference. Okay. You can hate Trump for word liberty, FI, and the Trump coin and whatever. But the reality of the matter is, dude, Biden fucking raided Shane Kaplan. You know, we're about to talk about the airdrop Polymarket. Polymarket may not even fucking exist in the world if Kamala Harris came in. So I'm still very happy with my vote. This is called a fucking bear market. Grow up, people. Learn to trade. Okay. If you don't have any cash to buy the dip, that's on you, man. Okay. Go get a fucking job, get some cash, buy the dip. And guess what? I took some screenshots in 2027, 2028. Oh boy, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Let me guarantee it. When Bitcoin's at fucking like 180 grand, oh, there's going to be some victory laps. Just wait. Just wait.
I think I agree, and I think that people are overreacting. We did completely retrace the Trump pump with the election. I think people are just saying like, "Oh, he's ruined it," blah blah blah. But I think I'm with you. Like, you can say both are evils, but I think it would be the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, and Biden took Bitcoin from when he started in 2021. What was Bitcoin at? 17K to 70K, back down to 15K. No one was like, Biden erased all of his gains. Like, that's what happens. Shit goes up, shit goes down. You got a fucking buying opportunity. Some of us, me included, thought, hey, maybe the 4-year cycle is broken. Turns out maybe it wasn't. But here's the thing. If you needed a lesson to learn from this cycle, it happens over and over again. It happens in stocks. I'm reading the same thing about growth investors, and they're like, how hubris were we that we didn't fucking realize gains when our net worth went up 5-10x? It happens everywhere, right? The name of the game, it's very simple, right? We all know it. Buy low and sell high. That doesn't mean you have to sell all of it. I still own Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, but last year I took profits. Now I have a lot of cash. I can buy back in. That's the cycle. It always happens. It's going to keep happening in all sectors. And if you want to trade, that's what you got to do. But yeah, excited to see a little comeback rally here. And yeah, I think just the market is overall in all sectors is just a little shaky, a little scary. And people have a million different reasons for why. It's either the Japanese carry trade, right? Or it's Kevin Warsh is a hawk and he was nominated as the Fed chair head, right? Like, there's a million different reasons you can come up with why it dumped. The reality of the matter is, look at a bunch of charts like Robinhood, right? From 2023 to 2025, you got a 20 fucking X. It's not crazy you're going to see a pullback on that. Like, and now you have a good opportunity to potentially buy. And then when it's at 210, you're up 3x and you're happy, you know? Charts just don't move. No one would like a chart moving in a straight line straight up. You could never get rich if you weren't rich already with that. You know, you need the volatility to make the real money. You need the things to come down so that you can buy in cheap. Some people are tying the dump to a large player tied to IBIT getting destroyed. Potentially, I mean, one of the things I wondered is if someone out there had like some sort of like MSTR Bitcoin hedge, right?
That was very popular.
Yeah.
And a short on MicroStrategy and a long on Bitcoin was a very common like hedge play.
Exactly. And it probably worked out for a little bit, but then when Bitcoin really started going down, it could have caused some issues. I
have the thread that he's referring to. I saw it this morning. I don't know like how much credence this.
Kix was saying bottom was in at 90K. That's not true. Never said that.
He was saying we'd get a relief rally in the January when we hit 90K.
Yes, that is what I said. And we did not get that. Also, I didn't say full port. I didn't say any of that. I'm still majority cash. Did I lose 8K on perps during that period? Getting a little greedy? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the post they're talking about, the commenter on YouTube saying the IBIT dump. This is the other Parker _ on X if you want to read the whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I can summarize. essentially saying that IBIT has a one of the most liquid options markets, the fourth largest options market behind SPY, QQQ, and SPX. So pretty big options market for IBIT. And they're saying there is at least one like mega OG Bitcoiner that's basically using covered calls to generate income. And he was using this through IBIT when they allow
Just
like,
PO?
maybe allowed in-kind creations and redemptions to kind of like provide a tax efficient way to do this. And they're saying that their leverage worked until 1010, something got blown out, and then this could have been what triggered like this selling,
like the force selling. Yeah, because I mean that definitely looked like force selling. It was just steady down. That wasn't like retail panic selling.
Yep. So that's one theory. Again, if you want to follow this, if you're just listening, this is the other Parker _, and he has this. He's calling it the HK fund hypothesis. So one potential explanation there. But
yeah, and if you look at last cycle, right? Last cycle, so 2021 into 2022, 2017 all-time high was 17K, right? We went to 69K. We went down to like 20K, 17, 20K, bounced around a little bit. Then we went to like 15, and that was the bottom. So if you're doing the math, you know, previous all-time high, 69K, you'd think like high 50s, low 60s. You're in the ballpark of a bottom.
So, I mean, the past doesn't necessarily repeat, but it does rhyme. Yeah. Easy made a post and I made a post, both like regarding like predictions and past price action on Bitcoin. Easy surfaced the 4chan post that's been circulating around that basically calls the cycle top and cycle bottom. 100. There's basically 1,064 days between the all-time low and the next all-time high, and then there's just 1 day under a year between the all-time high and the next all-time low. So looking at October 6, 2025 is the all-time high, pretty close to where we were with Bitcoin. That would mean the all-time low would be 1 day before that, and on October 5th. I had a post the day before where basically I was talking about Michael Burry predicting the bottom of, or predicting where we were on Bitcoin. And I basically extrapolated the dates. So like if Bitcoin follows the pattern that Burry says, and we're right here on this drop.
Yeah, Hub, we watched the Meet Kevin video. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And you take this 245 days till Pico bottom from where he pointed. This also leads you to October 5th of this year for Pico bottom, 245 days.
Shit, I'm going to be trading a lot of prediction markets until then, I guess.
So I got this. I now have this circled on my
on your date.
Yeah, 50K at October 5th, Pico bottom. And
yeah, and also that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be massively lower than 50, 60. All it can mean is that we range chop for a period of time. It could go up to 90, then down to 70, then up to 80, then down to 60, then down to 50, and that could be the bottom. I mean, unless it's a V-shaped recovery. I don't know. The thing that this definitely wasn't 2021, because I think 2021 was very retail driven. But the feel of the crash reminded me a lot of May 2021.
Yeah, like this would have been essentially today is here.
Yeah.
And then we have one more drawdown and then Pico bottom.
So you get it maybe in like the low 50s or whatever. I think like regardless in this range, you're feeling, decent. Even if you bought at the beginning of that range at 28, you still made a 4x, to the top. The tricky thing though is that buying early is you have to have the nuts and the guts to survive like a couple more wicks down, right? It's probably way easier on the mental health to like wait for it to bottom and then maybe work its way back up. But
it's so hard to wait for it to bottom. Like, yeah,
exactly. Dude, go to May 2021. This crash reminded me very much of May 2021. A lot of people forget this.
Right there. That's what I'm showing.
Oh, you are? No, that's 2022 and then 2023.
Oh. Let me get rid of all this.
Because May 2021 was a V shape kind of. Yeah, it's back. Yeah, back. All All right, there.
So this is like the mid cycle.
Yeah,
first
you
top.
see like that wick. I got liquidated on that wick going to the PGA Championship Sunday. That was a hell of a wick.
This one here.
Yeah, it was on ETH though. I like bought ETH at like 1,600 or 1,700, and it like I put a 10% stop loss, and it like flash crashed down to 1,500. Literally on the bus ride. It was like a 30-minute liquidation. But that ended up turning well. I'm not sure it's a May 2021, but yeah, if you compress like what you did, you can see how it was a V-shaped recovery in May.
What I did yesterday is I was saying let's just start buying Bitcoin once we got under 70K, and I turned on another daily Bitcoin buy.
Your Burbot?
Yeah, just like a daily DCA on Bitcoin. And I said, I'm not I don't think this is the bottom, but I do want to start buying some more. So daily DCA, and then I said, anytime we drop 3%, I'm gonna like up the DCA, the daily DCA.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, once my normie friends with money are texting me saying like they're interested in buying Bitcoin, I think that's a sign we're closer to the bottom than not.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people on the timeline either haven't been invested this whole cycle, or they fucking made a bunch on meme coins and they rotated all into Bitcoin at 120K. So they lost 50% of their net worth and they're mad, which I get, but I think the timeline's overreacted.
Yeah, so I've been getting these too. So yesterday I have a message here. Any expense/commission fee for trading Bitcoin on Coinbase or wherever you do it. I've been utilizing IBIT through Schwab. No trade fee, but 25.25% expense ratio. How would you recommend buying Bitcoin for a normie?
IBIT for sure.
Yeah.
You'll get hosed on like Robinhood or Coinbase on the swaps.
But if you're paying a 0.25% expense ratio, aren't you just kind of like
per year?
I'd imagine 0.25 per year.
Yeah, but like if you're
losing 1% on the swap or 2%,
exactly, that's 4 years of holding.
Yeah.
And then it's just way cleaner for a normie. You know what I mean? Like if you take profits, like you're just sending them your account and your E-Trade. It's like very easy for them to quantify all of that.
Yeah.
Like the Hong Kong dealer, you can sell some covered calls at a point in time if you want. There's more optionality with IBIT, right? You can sell calls and stuff.
The thing that I'm like realizing like I have money on chain, but like I can trade like no fee on Hyperliquid. But the thing is, like, if I were starting from zero on chain, you're gonna have to pay some sort of fee somewhere to get on chain.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't recommend them
onboarding
coming on chain unless they really know what they're doing. Like unless they're like an engineer by trade or something, because then your buddy's gonna text you 2 years from now, hey man, can't log into my MetaMask.
Oh my God. I've got a friend I brought along for NFTs who still has like funds, and I get like all kinds of messages from him like here and there. Like I think he got scammed on a Coinbase phishing attack. I think he recovered it, and then like now like he like watches ETH price and he's like, how do I get back to my MetaMask after my browser forgot it? I was like, well, please tell me you wrote down your seed phrase somewhere.
Dude, I'll tell you a fucking story. So this was when Trump was around the time when Trump was launching his first NFT collection, right? And I had a hot wallet on one of my computers with like $2,000 in it or something. And I made a bunch of money on the Trump NFTs, right? And the wallet ended up having like 20 grand in it. And it was just a small hot wallet at the time. I never wrote down the seed phrase. I know it's retarded, but I never wrote down the seed phrase. And then I go to log into it and I try every password I've ever fucking tried. And it wasn't fucking working. Eventually I find this guy in Italy named Luigi on like a support forum. And he like showed me there's this vault cracker tool that you can use, because basically like MetaMask, it like saves your seed phrase encrypted, but you have to know the password to decrypt it, right? and none of my passwords are fucking working, dude. And I'm trying like typos of all my passwords. It was like 3 days. I'm just like destitute. And eventually I look in and MetaMask I had used a MetaMask recommended password for the account and it was saved in MetaMask and I copied it and put it into the wallet cracker and fucking got my 20 grand. But that was my lesson, you know, even on hot wallets, write down your seed phrase.
Yep. Hot wallet, seed phrase, private keys, get them all in. And
I bought Luigi a $1,000 laptop, which is a big deal to him in Italy for helping me get my account back.
That's awesome. Tia Chades with some advice here. I would not give this advice to my normal friend. I would start with a hardware wallet like Tangem and convince them to buy either through Tangem or Bitcoin. Well, there's no chance that that could be the correct advice to somebody without any crypto exposure, unless there's some sort of UI UX with Tangem. I've never heard of them or Bitcoin. Well, that is just excellent.
Yeah, I bet's easy.
Yeah, I bet super easy. We've been talking a while, Kick. So I'm going to shoot over the weather report into the private chat, so we go over those stories and then dive into some of this market talk deeper.
You got it. Let's get deeper, bud. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, today is Friday, February 6th. Majors bouncing back this morning after a devastating day. Bitcoin right around 67K, Ethereum at 1900, Solana back over 80, hype at $34. Over the past 24 hours, the crypto total market cap dropped $300 billion as $2 billion was liquidated from leverage positions over the last 24 hours. Perp dexes feasted on the volatility as they recorded the second highest day of trading volume ever, only behind the 1010 collapse. Hyperliquid. Next up, it was a bad day for a BitHum employee as they accidentally airdropped 2,000 Bitcoin to users by mistake. Bitcoin went to 55K on BitHum after the error. Too bad. Why don't errors like that happen for me where I get free Bitcoin? Finally, Polymarket filed a trademark for the Poly token. Speaking of Polymarket, traders who have taken the yes on Jesus returning in 2026 have officially outperformed Bitcoin. Will he come back? We'll see. Back to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Kicks. Who's taking the yes here to spike this from 2.5 to 4.5? Has to be Polymarket, right? As like a marketing thing.
I don't know. Look at the top holders. On the yes.
Top holders on the yes. 455,000 shares.
I mean, that's pretty funny. Click on his portfolio. Is that it?
That's it.
I love it.
Insider.
God.
It's the Pope. It's the Pope. The only other explanation I had is that there is like Jesus Christ markets that are correlated with other, like there's a, will Jesus Christ return or will GTA release on time? And GTA is not going to release on time. So it's like 50-50 market. So I was wondering if someone was hedging that, but
this is such an absurd hedge. It's like, well, Jesus might come back.
Dude, I mean, dude, you make it bank. Here's the thing: if Jesus comes back, I don't think money's worth anything anymore. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe this is a rules cuck.
The Pope's there, and he's like looking at this market. He's like, things are getting bad. Things are getting bad out there. Let's take a flyer.
Here's the other thing too. Like, go back and see the top on the no. I mean, usually wash traders are a little bit smarter, and they'll have multiple accounts.
And
yeah,
that'd be a funnier name to be on the S. And 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, because I mean, you could essentially buy a bunch of shares and just be on the other side of the book on another account. But
so this is effectively a free 4.1% yield on whatever size you want. Apparently,
yeah, that's a lot of size right there, dude. No, you'd be on the bid, so you'd be 2,700.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's a bunch of these. There's like will Jerome Powell go to jail? I think there's like a 6% yield on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he could theoretically do something that would put him in jail.
Yeah, but what are the odds on that?
I mean, what's the odd that any human goes to jail?
You could pretty much like open a fund, raise a bunch of money from people, and just like slam the no on all these improbable ass things. Just generate them like a nice 7% yield.
Speaking of 7% yield, I put some more money into Stretch last night for their tax advantaged.
The only thing that's gonna get stretched is your butthole, dude, when this thing goes to zero.
I bought in around 95 during the earnings call yesterday. So this has like
Nice.
this is pegged it to $100, and it pays interest on the 11, and so every share pays $11.25 on the year. So you're actually getting more yield for per dollar when you're buying below $100 on this. And essentially what they do is they sell to par whenever it goes above $100. So I found it extremely attractive to buy some more. They have 36 months worth of cash in their fund that they raise to pay dividends. So I'm looking at this as like a slightly more aggressive yield strategy than just doing, a 4% savings. So I have like a small.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it, especially buying here when, MSTR is pretty close to the bottom. You're not buying $450 MSTR like Wirehead just rubbed in your face.
I bought
I'm super down to golf in Arizona.
$560 MicroStrategy is what I bought Wirehead.
You literally top ticked it pretty much.
I think I have the highest purchase price on
of anyone you know.
And I think anybody in the universe. I think I hit the top of the top wick on Robinhood, and I think that nobody else has bought above me ever. So I'm gonna wear that badge of honor, and hopefully we never get back above there, so I can just continue to live with that.
Yeah, you can always tax loss harvest it.
Yeah, maybe long term.
It's not a loss. It's just a tax loss harvest opportunity.
Yeah, obviously.
You just got to make more than you lose. That's it. Kicks, what's your stock buys right now, man? I'm not good at trading stocks, Mike. You don't want my advice.
I didn't look into anything we talked about yesterday.
I forgot I saved all of the list in Notepad, and it turned off. Oh, there it is.
Just open it up. Notepad remembers.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's go. Mike, I'm looking at CrowdStrike, Roblox. Thinking CrowdStrike is interesting because I've done zero research on the company, so take it with a grain of salt. But you would think that cybersecurity will get more important in the era of vibe coding and AI coding. It's not down too much, though, off the top. I'm in Mexican dollars right now, but it looks like it's off about 30% from the all-time highs.
You can do that.
You ain't getting it as juicy as it is in 2023, but I'm keeping an eye on those. I'm hate shorting Carvana. I'll probably lose a bunch of money on that. Yeah, don't come for me for stocks. Not a good stock trader.
Why is Carvana like up and to the right? Is just people aren't buying cars anywhere else?
Dude. Okay, if you want to get a conspiracy. So these guys, what they do is when they sell you a car, they finance your loan through a third-party lender. And then Carvana books the profits like the loan has zero default risk. And the third-party lender is taking all the risk on the loans. Guess who owns the fucking lender? It's like the CEO's dad.
So eventually you could see just a mismatch on earnings here, or like them blow up and they lose their lender.
Yeah, like any sort of economic weakness. It's not like rates are coming down fast enough, and it's not like a shit ton of people are buying cars. They're definitely selling cars, but the question is, are they actually profitable doing it in a big way? They say they are, but then like look up CarMax. Like this is trading like a tech stock, and it's really a used car dealer. And you're gonna try to tell me them hiring people to drive to your fucking house to pick up your fucking car and drive it back somewhere where they can sell it is more efficient than a dealership? I don't know. I think there's some, they got some mafia connections, Carvana's family, so I'm not gonna say too much stuff.
So you should be DCAing into shorts on Carvana right now. Just pop a little bit.
Well, if you remember, I mentioned it when it was at fucking like 390. Then it dropped, and then it went all the way up to 473. It got added to the S&P 500, so that was part of the big pump. But we'll see. It's a little options play. If
IPO.
if stocks like this keep puking, I should make like 2-3x. But it was a dumb play. I shouldn't have done it. But whatever. Yeah, I'm too early on my stock moves. Usually they play out later. That's facts. I need to be more patient. Yeah, listen to this guy. Sold my old ass Nissan Versa to Carvana. Got 4,500. Had all sorts of damage. My car literally listed on Carvana for 8,000 the next day and sold. Who the fuck bought my car for that? That's what I'm saying, dude. There's some weird ass fucking shit going on there, dude. There's probably a landfill somewhere in the Northeast with all the Carvana cars they allegedly sold.
You have any interest in the Discord IPO?
I'm personally a very big fan of Discord. I love it way more than Telegram and everything like that. I've ran businesses out of Discord. So I would definitely be interested. Just depends on like where they're at. I don't know. And also it's going to be like a lot of IPO competition this year, right? Anthropic's considering it. OpenAI is considering it. SpaceX is probably doing it. There's going to be a lot of liquidity getting sucked up into those. But I like Discord a lot. If I think it's a good value, I could definitely get into it.
Continuing to see price. Did Easy say a word on the show today?
He said one thing and then he left. Hey, if I move my stink bid up to 60, do you think they'll like reverse fill it for me?
Maybe.
We're at 68 now. Well, that kind of stings a little bit.
As I say, you would have been printing on that. We are sending right now, Bitcoin.
I was gonna buy a half a Bitcoin too, dude. I'd be up.
Half a Bitcoin on spot or leverage?
1x hyperliquid. So no leverage, but perps.
Okay, so I thought you were swing trading when I was talking to you on Discord when you were deciding this.
Yeah, I was gonna swing trade it for sure.
Well, like, I thought you were swing trading with leverage.
Yeah, I don't fuck with leverage, especially in a meltdown. Yeah, it was gonna be straight 1x. Like I was gonna no liquidation risk.
Okay, I mean, I thought you were trying to like really juice something. So like, yeah, you would have made 4K.
That would have been a nice day.
Yeah, but you probably would have
well.
sold already,
Oh well.
realistically.
I could have fucking put the stink bid at 64. You know what I mean? I'd barely be up. Like you can't knock it too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're at 68. We're running. I've got a couple levels up here. On the drawdown yesterday, like we were well above all of these red lines. So key levels I'm looking at right now, 74K was where we tapped in April of last year. That was the bottom post tariff. So that's a level I'm watching here as we rally. Do we sit between the 74 and 66K level for a little bit? I do think eventually we drop down to that 50K level. It's just a matter of when. So
yeah, every dump needs a little cool off period, even if it's going down more.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a little bit of volatility, a little bit of chop over the weekend, going to a low liquidity weekend. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. Are you bidding anywhere right now or into the weekend, or you think basically, hey, that sell off?
Yeah, that was my shot. Because if I try to get in now, I'll tilt myself. You know, it's like poker. You got to know, like, hey, like, you know, you had the good hand, but it didn't work out, and you had to fold it. Like, you don't just get like a fucking 6-8 offsuit and then try to, you know, play the next hand. So I would tilt myself right now. I'm happy just to hold my hype. If we get a turnaround, I think hype's going to continue to do well. And I still have like an okay amount of Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana. If we get a rally, I may sell my Solana into hype. That's one thing I've been thinking about. But yeah, I'm sitting on a big amount of cash. So getting that money working sometime over the next 6 months would be good.
Hype hit a new all-time high relative to Bitcoin yesterday.
Nice.
I was debating rotating some hype into Bitcoin. But I think
I'm holding my hype. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that could be a 28K to 200K trade. I think if I'm patient, it may take until 2027 for that to play out.
ICO Beast shared a thesis / play on hype on Project X this morning, teased a little bit yesterday. LPing Hype USDC right now because there's a lot of volatility in the market. Hype has shown some strength, and there's a lot of volume on just the Hype token right now. So another opportunity out there that I thought was interesting. The issue with me with this play is I don't want to sell my Hype, and I don't want to put more risk going dry powder into Hype just for this yield strategy. But
yeah, I don't even have my Hype staked. I don't know if that's dumb, but
he was earning 770% APR on Hype USDC yesterday. So
is there no impermanent loss on USDC pairs?
no, there's impermanent loss. Like Hype goes up and you're all in USDC, you don't have your Hype anymore. You know, you miss on the upside, or if it goes down, you're sitting on Hype that is now worth less.
So you're making money, but essentially you're just basically
hoping it
risking selling your stuff.
Yeah. Yep. But
I mean, like getting into the range at 34 isn't terrible, right? Because like if it goes down to 28, you end up with more Hype and you earn fees. If it goes to 40, maybe you still have some Hype left. I mean, it's not a terrible move, but I don't know. I've been a Hype believer. I rode this thing up to 56. I rode it down to fucking 20. I think all of the negativity towards Binance is super bullish for Hyperliquid. And I think that they're just continuing to execute their roadmap, like getting all sorts of interesting new perps into play. They're also teasing out some prediction market stuff. So I don't know, man. I think it could be like, you know, the next cycle's trade where I get to be easy eats.
I mean, part of it, like they're trying to be like Robinhood on chain, essentially, the everything financial app on chain.
Yeah.
Like,
so compare them to Robinhood, they're pretty cheap, right?
You can come up with a lot of different things that you can trade on chain with deep liquidity under one platform. You know, it was crypto, and then it was equities. Now it's prediction markets. Oh, sorry. Didn't get great sleep last night.
Even though I missed the bottom, I would be happy if this was a bottom V-shaped recovery, just because the Democrat Twitter dunked on crypto crashing yesterday, and it instantly reminded me of when Tim Waltz dunked on Tesla share price and then it 2x'd in fucking 4 months. But then I would be still heavily cash, so it'd be bittersweet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
As of yesterday, can now buy Hype on Coinbase.
Yeah, that was a big one. They had announced that previously, but yesterday went live.
There was a Polymarket for that.
Tokenized mortgages, tokenized loans, tokenized interest. Like you could tokenize a lot of different things.
Tokenize these nuts.
Yep. Tokenized. Anything. So yeah, this is one of those that I have been like very reluctant to sell or like get out of this position at all, even though we had that very large correction.
Yeah, well, it was interesting, man. The smart thing if after 1010 is if we said, hey, anything that we like, we should put bids on the 1010 wick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It probably only worked out for Hype, though.
Yeah, where's our 1010 wick on Bitcoin?
Bitcoin didn't wick bad on 1010. That's the thing. It was mostly alts. But like pull up maybe like Pangu. Pangu, you'll see.
I hate Pangu.
Pregnant. You pregnant?
I'm done.
Yeah. See, they hit the wick too, but they haven't rallied yet.
Yeah. Let's draw a little line there so we remember.
Hindsight, we should have just shorted everything on that little relief rally after 1010, you know, because that was sketchy.
Yeah, we have that huge liquidation and things pump back. Like what? Why?
I mean, I did make 20 grand on that wick on Pangu, so I'm not complaining. And then I lost 10 of it trying to do dumb shit with fart coin.
SPX below the 1010 wick, living there right now.
Yeah.
Let's look at fart coin. Fart coin never got there. Oh, I guess
the tough thing with fart coin, it's not the new coin anymore. With meme coins, you need the new coin, right? Weird whale, white whale, or whatever. That's the new coin.
What are some tokens that like we're still bullish on? Like we talked about, was it MetaDAO? I don't even know that's going to be listed here.
I'm bullish on Polymarket token. I'm bullish on Hyperliquid.
I'm bullish on Rect. What does Rect look like versus that? I'm not even seeing a 10-10 wick here.
Isn't it funny that I had a stink bid at 59 and now it's at 68? And I'm like, that's too expensive for me. And it was 123 months ago. Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah, I think with Bitcoin, I'm just happy with this DCA and the structure of the DCA whenever it
That's
drops.
a smart way to do it for sure.
I just hope I have it like enough accumulation over the next 200, 300 days, which I think.
Wired says pump not a bad play.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that in some sense. I just think like the key difference between Hyperliquid and like pump to me is that Hyperliquid has fully validated what they're doing and executed it, right? And then have now even like diversified their product offerings where you can like trade commodities on it and stuff, versus like pump is still very much like meme coin creator coins, and those all got absolutely wrecked. I think if you're betting on pump here, you're betting on their ability to create new streams. And you're also really betting on that the like mass amount of tokens coming out kind of thing is going to be attractive in this next cycle, which I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. People love to trade charts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Vitalik had a video he released yesterday. Like, I think a lot of people are feeling it, and it's been kind of hashed out a decent amount. But he was saying, like, Trump launched a meme coin, like the king of meme coins launched the king meme coin, and it's now down 95%. Anyone who bought the top is down 20x on their investment. Like, at that point, like, the emperor has no clothes, and meme coins are kind of like capped. And that hurts like a pump fund if they don't diversify.
Yeah, but I think most people, at least most people that have been playing meme coins for a bit, understand that's the game. That like these things are not meant to be like decade-long stores of value. You're like, trading attention, you're trading trends, you're trading waves, right? And that these things really don't have much, if any, fundamental value to them.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I just think that every time we see a new runner, it tops, and then like the roller coaster goes down, and Trump was the top of that roller coaster.
How's our Moltbook doing? Is it bad?
I don't want to look.
Me either. Okay, cool. Let's just not look. We'll look back next week. No one in the chat say anything or you're banned. Shit, dude, I did that and Carvana. That may be $5,000 just torpedoed into nothingness. Oh well. But what were we talking about? I just tilted myself in my head.
The roller coaster of meme coins.
Oh, yeah. The problem with meme coins now is the same problem NFTs had going into 2022. The tooling has become so advanced and the game has become so solved.
Right.
Like NFTs in 2021 were great because the game wasn't solved. There wasn't sneakerhead kid bots like mass minting things and making 300K, flipping them in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It was like just people in Discords buying things. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club took like 24 hours to mint out. You know what I mean? That's the equivalent of like Pepe or Fart Coin sitting at $1 million for like 2 weeks after launch. You know what I mean? And now the game's been solved. So we need a new game. So if Pump Fund can come up with a new game, could be bullish.
CryptoPunks under 30 ETH. You mentioned NFTs, so I wanted to check out what they were doing. We had a lot of sales yesterday.
I mean, what are they under 50K? Are they right near there?
So ETH's at like what 1,900 right now, so we're very close. Like 57K.
CryptoPunks kind of remind me of ETH in the sense of like you just get these opportunities to like swing trade them over and over and over and over again, right? Like ETH, you've had 4 chances to buy under 2K and sell at 4K in the last 4 fucking years, dude. It's insane. And CryptoPunks kind of the same way. Like you've had these like
top
crashes, buy them, you get this big rally, then it fucking dubs, then you can buy it, big rally dubs. I mean, this chart, what is the line on this chart? Is this just price in ETH?
Let's go to floor. Here's floor. on
Floor and ETH. Can you go like all time on it?
this
Is that
as
all
far-
time?
Yeah, this is all time. This is as far data as we go for floor, but we go sales, and you can get an idea for where we were.
Yeah.
Like where you see the sales concentrating.
Yeah.
This is probably.
But I mean,
the
you
floor.
do kind of see the chart compressing down over time. I mean,
We went from 22 to like 100, then we dropped back
Yeah.
down to under 50, and we ran back up to almost 90. You went to 45, back up a little bit. You went to 25, and we ran all the way back up to somewhere around 50. Now we're back.
yeah. So you get like a lot of these 2X's, same as ETH. The question, like long term with this for me, and once again, I preface this with I am not a art collector. I do not have any taste when it comes to that. But I think the question would be is like, do the future generations like want this? Like, do the Zoomers that made millions on meme coins, do they want a CryptoPunk? Like, who is your next buyer?
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, are people looking back fondly on CryptoPunks in 15, 20 years as like we're looking back on like, Black Lotuses and Pokemon Charizards and everything? Like, do these become that sort of kind of investment? This is the NFT thing. Like, NFTs still exist to some extent in 2050.
Yeah. Well, you need ETH to do well for 30. It's a pseudo bet on ETH, right?
Right. A bet on ETH and a bet on NFTs still being relevant, or like digital collectibles still being relevant.
Yeah. And I think digital collectibles will definitely still be relevant. I'm just not an art collector. I have not studied that. I did not go to school for that. So like to understand like how these things, right? Because it's like in the traditional art collecting, a lot of times these things are like worthless until the artist dies, and then they become more valuable over time, right? But I'm sure there's exceptions to that. Yeah, it's for me dumping a lot of my net worth into a CryptoPunk. Like, I'm good. I think I could make money trading other things. I will make a promise though. If I make like $2 million next cycle, I'll buy a CryptoPunk.
That's still a pretty decent chunk of $2 million.
Yeah, because if I make $2 million, these are probably worth 300K.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's like a 60K bet. I do think these are going to be relevant in 30 years. I absolutely think they're going to be relevant in 30 years. I don't even think it depends on ETH when you go to that time frame. I just think like it depends on ETH in the sense that like these don't get obliterated from existence. Like there's problems with Ethereum. They can't get merged off somehow. There is no provenance. But if these things exist, are tradable, and have provenance in 30 years, I feel like digital collectibles are going to exist and like be prevalent.
And you have to make that bet if you just look at collectibles in the real world and what they've done over the last 20, 30 years, right?
Yeah. Like imagine that you own one of the first, like it's like the Babe Ruth baseball card,
Yeah.
Or like whatever, like the number one, like is it like Lou Gehrig? What's like the most valuable baseball card? Is it like I don't know. I should know this.
Yeah, you should, dude. I'm kind of disappointed.
Let's Google it. Most valuable Mickey Mantle, 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle, $12.6 million in 2022.
I mean, that's a pretty fucking good return over 70 years.
Yeah, I wonder how that works with. I mean, obviously the card probably cost next to nothing when it was first bought. I don't know what it was acquired for previously. You factor in
the nice thing about an NFT is you just don't have to lose the seed phrase. It's the only way you can fuck it up. Versus like me, dude, I'm a messy ass person. There's no way I'm fucking keeping a card. I'd probably lose the card somewhere.
Yeah, and you can actually like have like nice secure multiple seed phrase. You can have multiple seed phrases stored multiple places.
Yeah, I felt really bad. This guy in the Palisades fire lost like a $10 million fucking Pokemon collection and like Magic the Gathering and all that shit. I felt really bad when I read his story.
Ron saying no because baseball is still relevant. Will NFT technology be viewed like baseball? I don't think it's NFT technology specifically. I think you can expand it and extrapolate to digital collectibles. If digital ownership doesn't matter in 30 years, then these probably won't matter. But if digital ownership and digital collectibles do matter, then yes, I think these.
But Ron's point is interesting in the sense of, like, for example, Pokemon cards, right? Like Pokemon cards, some of them are worth a shit ton of money, but like Pokemon has kept this brand so strong and it has super wide adoption. So like how much of that like impacts its success? But on the other side of the spectrum, it's not like, you know, Van Gogh has super wide adoption and everybody, you know what I mean? Like there's two different things. There's one, which is like things that kind of still dominate culture, and therefore the rare things in that ecosystem get a lot of value. And then there's other things that is just basically a rich man's game, right? And that's what I would say you would look at punks as, is like, do the rich people 20 years from now want to have a CryptoPunk, so when their other rich friends come over, they're like, yeah, check this shit out.
Yeah, I think Son of Man V1. NFTs are the first internet native collectible. It's a whole other asset class and is still in its infancy. We're very early.
The time now, like, you know, in 2021, when all these funds were like rolling up NFT collections worth millions of dollars, the time to do that would be now. When everything's down really bad, it would be like, go raise 5 million for some rich ass people and say, this is what I'm going to do. I have taste. I'm going to curate the best $5 million collection at the lows. If NFTs don't end up being anything in 20 years, cool. You guys are all rich anyways. You lost a little money. You can write it off. Right. Or in 20 years, this $5 million is a fucking $1 billion.
I made a mistake, Kicks.
It's okay.
I looked at Moltbook.
Is it above 10 million?
No.
Ouch.
It is not. It is in fact at 8 million.
Ouch. Well, my future self was probably trying to teach my past self a lesson there.
Yeah.
2,500 there, down to 800. So lost 1,700 there. The Carvana thing, I should probably write off as a loss of 5,000. Done. It was a decent thesis. We didn't. The crypto market absolutely implode. But here, this is my problem. Remember when I was telling you my skepticism of like the 5% swap fees on these things, or whatever the creator fee is, if it's just too much of a drag, where it only can really do one pump and be done. Yeah. Dude, sometimes you fucking gamble. Guess what? We wouldn't be complaining if we both made $5,000. We'd be like patting ourselves on the back like we were smart. We really just gambled.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking shitty. See, here's the difference between me and a lot of people. You know what other people would do? They'd fucking go on the timeline and they'd like complain to like the founder of this project. You know what I mean? I mean, like, what are you doing? Can you please check in with me every day on Discord? Can you please write an announcement every day on Discord and let me know what you're doing for the project? Because I want to make sure that you're really working hard over there. No, me, you know, I'd fucking
I'm gonna quote tweet and be like, I'm an idiot. Why am I doing this?
Exactly. Take some self-responsibility. Yeah. We did something retarded, and now we're $2,000 poorer. And that's all. Guess what? A lot of people don't even have $2,000 to do something retarded with. So we're lucky.
Yep. That one was dumb. But I'm probably just gonna hold it to 0, and we'll lose.
Yeah, let's just hold it. Maybe it goes back up to 50. And we look like fucking geniuses.
Yeah, or we sell it at December 31st this year for a nice tax loss. Yeah, on our future gains that we're definitely going to make this year.
Exactly. I like that attitude, dude. Let's go. Wirehead, I still think you will get a random pump. Cool. Maybe we should set our sell triggers just in case we're sleeping.
Yeah.
It's 10 a.m. We didn't even talk about Polymarket airdrop.
Yeah, we have Polydrop. I'm looking at the call sheet right now. Polymarket airdrop, Polymarket alpha in general. So they announced their airdrop, Poly token.
Huge.
They filed a trademark for it yesterday.
You remember about 6 months ago when everyone was like, oh no, they're just playing with you, they're never going to do an airdrop? You know nothing, Jon Snow. Look up Shane Coplin, man.
Shane Coplin. Do we have like Polymarket airdrop markets on Polymarket, or can they not do that?
I think they avoid doing that. Yes,
that would make sense.
Bad optics.
Yeah. Insider trading. Will Polymarket have an airdrop?
Exactly. It's just like, because even if nobody insider trades, any random wallet that makes money on it is going to create a whole conspiracy theory. So it's just like, why even do it? But I'm really excited for the token. I'm also excited what they're going to do. I think they're going to do a Hyperliquid-esque chain, move to their own chain. I think they'll probably change their resolution from UMA to something involving the Poly token.
Mhm.
So I think that's interesting as well.
That's
And then maybe
super interesting. Like that's going to be a huge value. That might be like the biggest utility we have of any altcoin.
yeah,
Because that's a big market being able to affect outcomes on this.
Yeah, but that's the really tricky thing is designing that properly, because you can't just simply make it like whoever owns the most amount of token gets to resolve things the way that they want. Like there's going to be layers to it. But yeah, I'm excited for what they're going to do mechanically, and also excited all my Polymarket trading is going to pay off. And I'm sure like they filed trademark for it doesn't mean that like airdrop farming's already over. You know what I mean? I think still putting in work on Polymarket will be good. Will it be volume based, Wolfie? I think there'll be correlation to volume. I don't think it'll be volume based in the raw sense. I see stupid wash traders on there all the time, and they're just like buying something and then selling it to themselves, and then buying something and selling it to themselves. Like that kind of volume is just all going to get written off. There will definitely be some weighting towards volume and just how much you participated in the platform, but I think they're going to design it to look for more what like real users do. So like how many markets have you held to resolution? Like how long did you hold trades, right? How many different types of markets did you trade? Like stuff like that could be like bonus amplifiers. And then volume will definitely be a factor. It'll just be like slashed for the hordes of airdrop farmers that are not doing anything.
I mean, these charts are just up and to the right. Every chart that is involving Polymarket, volume, weekly notional volume, monthly notional volume, weekly volume.
And you can feel it in the markets, man. There's easy money to be made. It's easy to lose money on Polymarket, but there's a lot of flows on there where you're like, dude, this is good money.
TVL, like, what is this? Average.
Yeah, RVBYG says they might actually open a farming campaign like OpenSea or MetaMask because they haven't allowed US users on non-supports. They could totally do something like that.
This is the volume buckets here. Total volume per bucket, total bet per user. So the top bucket, billion, says total volume in billions. Okay, so you can see like how much each like bucket of volume is done in total volume.
That's so confusing to me.
So like people, so for everyone,
like I have a wallet that did over 1 million in volume.
Right.
What can you tell me?
So if you had a wallet that did over $1 million in volume, you would fall into this bucket or like any of these buckets. And it's saying like of those wallets, there's been, $10 billion in total volume between them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say like how many like wallet. Yeah. I would like to see like what you'd be looking for there. Okay, here you go. What's this? Builders. I would like to see top volume by user and see like where that ranks. Like how many people have 1 million, how many people have 2 million, how many people have 1 billion,
Yeah. I'd say I'm top 1%. And I'm definitely top 1% if you consolidate all my wallets. Separated, I still think my top wallet's top 1%. But I think I'll get a 5-figure airdrop here. I'm not trading Polymarket at such an insane level that I'm going to get a 6-figure one, but maybe a nice like 20K airdrop for my hard work.
Where do you think Polymarket, a Poly token, falls on FTV?
High, similar to Hyperliquid.
So you look at
top 20 coin guaranteed.
Top 20 coin guaranteed. So World Liberty Financial currently is sitting at number 20 and has
the most hated coin right now.
I'm looking at
that's a USD.
Yeah.
Yeah, but top 20 coin.
So Monero right now.
Yeah.
Sitting at an FTV of, come on, 5.7 billion.
Yeah, but Monero is like heavily circulated. Like I could see, let me rephrase myself. I think they will come out above 1 billion circulating valuation easily, depending on how much locked up tokens they could have. Could maybe like change it.
I agree. 32 bill FTV for Hyperliquid, 8 bill
Yeah,
circulating.
so I would think like half for Polymarket to start. You know, so if they had the same FTV to market cap ratio, like Polymarket, maybe 3-4 billion circulating with like a 10-15 billion FTV or something, somewhere in that range.
I think that feels fair.
Yeah, I think 100% it feels. I think this is going to be prediction markets. We think they're big now. You're actually still fucking early to them, is what I would say. I think they continue just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's just all sorts of interesting things going on there. It's fun. Like a lot of people just dismiss it as sports betting, and if you're actually on Polymarket, it couldn't be more wrong. Like it's in my opinion, it's way more interesting than like trading attention coins or meme coins, and like all you're literally trying to do is like get in early and dump on someone. Like if you're good at it, if you're making money on that, I'm not knocking you. Like that's a skill set. But just for me, like it's way more fun to like really try to like research out something, right? Make a bet on it and you're right, right? It's not like you were just like early and then you could sell on it. Like you were actually right. The people that you beat were wrong and you were right objectively. Like it feels a lot more like fantasy sports, you know?
DraftKings at a $13 billion market cap. You can make the argument that Polymarket should be on par or above DraftKings.
Yeah, that would have been a smart short to do earlier this year, just because, you know, prediction markets could eat some of their lunch.
Yeah, absolutely they could, because I mean, it's all a fee game at this point. And I think that when you have this monopoly on,
Trader Fermi, I'll give you a quick tip. On Polymarket, make sure your accounts actually make a username and actually have a profile pic for the Polymarket airdrop.
I downloaded. That's a good call. I downloaded Rainbow Wallet this morning to check for an airdrop, and my wallet, ETH wallet that I've used Rainbow Wallet for and I've had since 2021, was eligible for 0 Rainbow tokens. So that was a fun little surprise this morning.
Nice. Yeah, Trader Fermi, because I think just doing everything you can to differentiate yourself from like a bot is going to be good. But
we're running a little long here. We have to hop for the day. Great show. Thanks for joining me, Kix, and thank you all for listening. We do the show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple. You can catch us on YouTube, Zora, where we stream each and every day. Watch our video content, see what we're looking at, charts, prediction markets, NFTs, all the above.